Welcome to the ESR Zero Wednesday series at Mid-Ohio. We have 15 cars on the grid today with a ridiculous ponderancy for Mercedeses. Almost half the grid is
Obviously,
Mercedeses.
big fans of the Count of Monte Cristo.
Clearly. With me, as always, you heard the melodious tones of one Byron Derksen.
Whiskey.
And, well, yeah, I mean, you are the Tex of ESR. Your voice is actually really just the sound of whiskey.
Whiskey.
And with us is, of course, the head honcho of ESR, head admin, and, all-around French dude, Martin Evans.
The poutine man. Hello, everyone.
The man of the
poutine machine.
So the crowd is demanding answers to this, Martin. On a scale of 0 to poutine, how gone were your tires at the end of the Porsche race?
Oh, God. If you look at the pace, I had no pace with about 20 minutes to go. It was
in fairness, it seemed like a number of people had no pace.
Yes, it's true.
There was various tire and transmission-related issues.
I should have finished fifth, and I finished third, so I'm pretty happy with that. But that was because I survived.
Paul Riccobeni off the track.
No, Pablito.
Simeon Naku is on your screen here. With about 30 seconds left in qualifying, a little more than 30 seconds. Run down to the grid real quick. Caleb Gonzalez and Mike Stockmill, double Mercedes front row. Paul Riccobeni, Justin Swan having a really good day. Josiah Jerome, Simeon Naku, Ariel Zatoni, Gerardo Delvea, Wayne Hutchinson. Then we have Joe Racer, Rick Martel, Mike McGracken. Someone is missing there. I know that is Rick Martel, just from my knowledge. Grant Patolo and Juan. Damn it, what did you want me to call him again?
Never mind, you screwed it all up. I gave you a softball, sir.
You did.
Brutal.
Rick Martel in a new car today, Byron.
I hate it already.
No, I think you'll like it.
Oh, okay, I like it already.
Because, you're going to know it as soon as you see it, because the livery is very obvious.
Well,
Mike McGracken heading out on track in one of the 3 Audis on the field today. They are the next most common car to the mighty devastation that is Mercedes.
I only have one question, and that is, who's racing for Wacko Racing and Dot Racing?
There is no Wacko or Dot Racing.
Sexism and or ageism.
Someday I actually have to dig up what the hell the story is behind the Yakko Racing name.
I'm assuming they're just Animaniacs fans.
I mean, it's possible.
They're zany to the max.
They've disappeared from the ADAC grid on me, though, so I won't be able to cheer for them this season. Which has forced me to cheer for... I don't know. Haven't decided yet. We'll probably pick a random driver to back.
Paul Riccobeni currently racing for Montplus if by land, 2 if by sea motorsport.
They are in the ADAC.
You'll have to excuse me, I may be a little distracted on commentary playing with my new bayonet.
Does have a new bayonet. It's very intimidating looking, and he might stab you.
It is badass.
It's a possibility, but it would be like a friendly hello stab.
I'm not really sure that there's such a thing as a friendly hello stab.
Hey buddy, what's up?
Like Stockmill in the crawling Lincoln Park car, leaving the pit lane.
Crawling in my pits. Oh God! Oh Lord!
Oh Jesus! I didn't even know that happened. Josiah Jerome exploring some of the track limits.
He went to pick up a flower.
Perhaps.
Noted horticulturist.
He just wanted a little sample of the China Beach.
Remember, kids, you can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think.
All right, we are ready to assemble up the grid. Mike McGracken first on the grid. Thank you. Gerardo Delvea on the grid. Josiah Jerome on the grid. Grant Patolo on the grid.
Is that your nickname with the ladies there, Mike? Always ready, McGracken?
I mean, I am always ready, but I don't know if that's my nickname. I require very little priming.
Come on, Byron. I set him up for you.
Well, I was going to make some sort of inquiries if his nickname might be Explosivo.
Explosivo. Grid is still forming up here. I see that Simeon Naku is still in the pit lane. I don't know who else is there. I can't tell by the nose. Oh, well, there's Simeon joining the grid. And I believe that is our last one, which was Richard Higgs on the grid. By the way, up ahead of Mr. Higgs, Rick Martel in the Golf Mercedes.
Oh, very nice.
He moved from the Golf Porsche to the Golf Mercedes.
Oh, Lord, there's a fracas.
We are
Looks
off,
like
and
that
there's...
McCracken kid got off the blocks a little slow and...
I got off to a great start there. Joe Racer and Rick Martel with the contact with me.
Listen, you kids.
In the meantime, at the front, Caleb Gonzalez is taking the lead over Mike Stockmill and Paul Riccobeni, championship leader Paul Riccobeni. Josiah Jerome and Simeon Naku and Ariel Zatoni pretty much side by side there for 5th and 6th place.
It's good that Caleb is back.
We need Caleb Gonzalez and Eddie Gonzalez up against Hackman and Carman to the death.
It's going to be a really one-sided race. I'm just throwing it out there.
But it'd make for great TV. I can promote that.
Caleb will destroy everybody in that combo.
Well, I just have to double team torpedo the shit out of him, and then.
Speaking of bad starts, you were crapping on my start. Justin Swan started 4th and has gone back to 7th.
That's not just the best. That's not just the coolest. That's just incredible.
Oh yeah. Rounding off the top 10, we have Gerardo Delville. Richard Higgs, really good start up from 13th to 9th, and Joe Racer in 10th place.
Little Higgs, let me in.
The McLaren drivers were very excited about this race after having to put up with Monza, where their car was not really competitive, if we're being honest. And the move here has definitely reinvigorated Joe Racer's attempt to capture 2nd place in the Silver Cup, because let's face it, I haven't done the math to say that Simeon Naku is your silver champion, but he's 300 points ahead. So I'm willing to assume that he is the champion.
I think maybe somebody's been slipping somebody some money on the side.
Oh, Simeon just a man who improved a lot this season. That's just really all I can leave it at. He was pretty comfortably in the Silver Cup based on his performances in the past, and this season, I mean, he's an overall championship contender. He might be the first guy to win the silver and the championship. That would be impressive.
Mireki.
Needs to make some ground up now, though, because he's got Josiah Jerome between him and championship leader Paul Riccobeni, and he really needs to probably finish ahead of Riccobeni in this race. There's only 2 rounds after this, the Enduro at Road America and the Sprint at Indianapolis. So time is running low.
I recommend that he goes for the rare and sometimes unachievable domino pit maneuver.
Now, I will have to say, is the one thing that has to be said is the Porsche probably stronger car than the Audi at both Road America and Indianapolis, so he's in the driver's seat in that regard. Grant Patolo has worked his way up into 11th place after qualifying in a pretty un-Grant-like performance, 14th. So he's carving his way through the through. He's the red Mercedes in the very background. Simeon Naku takes 4th from Josiah Jerome, who went a bit wide there. Ariel Zatoni having a bit of a moment there. He is off the track. That's going to let Justin Swan and Gerardo Delvea through. Josiah back on the attack against Simeon Naku, looking to make his way around, looking to take the lead in the Silver Cup for the race. Of course, Josiah's attendance has largely rendered him a non-factor in the championship, but certainly a driver with a lot of pace.
It could be a dangerous spot here. Not attempt.
Ariel has indeed managed to rejoin at 8th place, so I was correct on that. Grant Patolo has slid to the back of the pack. Insider thing, Grant Patolo's dog started barking, and apparently there was a delivery man at the door.
Oh boy.
So
Byron.
he has pulled himself into the pit lane and is effectively out of this race.
A likely story. He probably just had to go get some Vegemite and rub it on his forehead.
I mean, that's possible. I wouldn't put anything regarding Vegemite past an Aussie, but we did hear the dog.
They didn't have
dog likes Vegemite too.
No, Grant does not have push to talk on.
Oh boy.
His mic is actually really good. If you know what, if I don't notice that you don't have push to talk on, you're fine. It's the dudes who you notice that don't have push to talk on. That's when you. Gerardo Gerardo Delve and his rough trying to get past the Alpina. This is a bit of a rare occurrence here, and I wonder if you're picking up on this, Martin. It's the two fake cars.
Well, they're not really fake.
The Alpina knockoff of the BMW and the rough knockoff of the Porsche fighting.
Yeah, but the roughs does exist in real life.
Actually, the Alpina is the more real of the two. The Alpina actually did race in the ADAC GT series and actually won the ADAC GT series with Dino Lombardi or Lunardi, can't remember. So more of a real car than the rough. But what I mean is that they're made up in the sense that both Rough RUF and Alpina are tuning companies as opposed to actual car makers.
Correct.
That's really just a BMW and a Porsche that have been rebadged.
The Alpina used to be a very good car. It's too bad they didn't balance it properly compared to the rest.
Well, we've had this discussion before. I think honestly that BOP should start to favor newer cars because they're the cars that would be favored in real life.
True.
Now, what I would propose is perhaps doing some kind of like vintage GT3 series where it's like the Alpina and the Mustang and the Camaro, like the stuff that's older getting to race each other. That would be neat.
That's true. They should do a modern GT3 and an old one. Like just a
well, I mean, really, you can do it yourself because you can just select GT3 and turn off the newer cars.
I'm already turned off.
Byron does not like this idea. Josiah Jerome looks like
cars.
he's being the cork in the bottle here. He's got Swan, Delvea, and Zatoni all linked up behind him. Bit weird. He qualified in 5th, so you would think he has pace, but he's not finding it right now.
Josiah Fishhooks Jerome.
Further back, we have Richard Higgs, Joe Racer, Wayne Hutchinson, Mike McGracken, Rick Martel, and John Picha still running in the race.
Noted Latin sensation Juan Fukasha.
There you go.
You simpleton.
Ariel Zatoni, Team Zaxby, BKK Mobile 1. And of course the Haribo!
Oh, it's gone wide.
Justin Swan getting very wide there. Justin was notably not happy with the way his car felt during this race, so wonder if that maybe is part of the problem there. And it's bought Josiah some time, because he's managed to open up a bit of a gap there between him and Gerardo Delvell. Ariel Zatoni also getting past Justin Swan, who drops down to 8th place. Richard Higgs looking like he'll be the stopper in the bottle soon as Joe Racer and Wayne Hutchinson are on the charge. Hutchinson looking to go down the inside, but can't make it for now.
Just like to say, screw you, Gerardo. Now all I want is...
Oh, Ariel Zatoni went off!
Oh, hello.
And he almost collected Wayne Hutchinson.
Somebody else wanted some Coke bottle candies. That's also in Gerardo's head, I think.
So that's going to promote Richard Higgs, Joe Racer, and Wayne Hutchinson, each one position, as well as Justin Swan. So Zatoni drops back to 11th. That's Zatoni's second off in this race, is it not? I believe he went off earlier.
Maybe. Maybe he had delivery at the door.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Caleb Gonzalez, 2.2 seconds up on Mike Stoppel at the front of the pack. Paul Riccobeni is not able to stay with them, but I'm sure he'll take a 3rd place. Simeon Naku in 3rd place. Josiah Jerome, Gerardo Delvea, Justin Swan, Richard Higgs, Joe Racer, Wayne Hutchinson, your top 5 or top 10. By the way, a bit of an odd Canadian leader, Richard Higgs. I don't believe he's ever been the top Canadian at the end of a race, and he's currently the top Canadian in 8th place.
Whoa, racist.
Racist?
Race.
Talking about race-on-race violence.
Racism in the race.
But to be honest...
Just because Higgs is a weirdo flatlander.
To be honest,
I don't even know where he's
who
from.
else is supposed to lead? Mike McCracken?
No, it would not be me. Based on the guys who showed up, Wayne Hutchinson would have been my pick at the start of the race. Means a quite solid driver. But yes, the Canadian contingent here today is a little bit weak with the absence of Eric Friesen and Darcy Parkinson. As well as
I hear that Mike Stoffmill and Caleb Gonzalez are both moving to Canada just so they can be cool. Confirm or deny in the comments below.
Yes, we're very interested in it.
Well, we do have a GT3 event coming up with its with other leagues, and Caleb and Mike will be part of Team Canada. They don't really have to change their flag, but they're going to be representing ESR.
Yeah, give us the full rundown of the lineup there, Martin. If you could. Oh, Simeon Naku has gone off into the wall. That is less than ideal.
Put him in the wall.
Yeah.
So the event will be a once a month race, and it's GT3. We have leagues like RR leagues and Project E. I don't know what their full name is. Anyway, Fran Machucha will be there with one of his team. So we have 7 guys, and that includes Caleb, Stoffno, Darcy, Paul Riccobeni. You have Eric is going to be in there as well. Simeon. Sorry if I'm forgetting some here, but I've contacted them all. And
Travis is doing it.
Travis, correct. Travis is also in there. I'm going to take a role of team captain for them.
Looks like Simeon Naku's lost his front end, so that's that bodes poorly for the championship battle, because I foresee he'll be going backwards.
Oh boy!
Wayne Hutchinson takes off his front end in sympathy.
Glorious.
Yeah.
All right,
the whole front is gone.
A quick rundown of the standings right now, and also the statuses of various cars. Caleb Gonzalez leads from Mike Stoffmill, 2.1 seconds. Stoffmill is coming back at him, but still a fair gap. Paul Riccobeni's in third. Don't listen to Wayne Hutchinson being put up in third there. That's not correct.
That
Paul
is totally
Riccobeni,
correct.
Josiah Jerome, Gerardo Del Vea, Justin Swan, Richard Higgs, Joe Racer. The damaged car of Simeon Naku is 9th. Ariel Zatoni 10th. 11th, Mike McGracken. 12th, Rick Martel. 13th, Wayne Hutchinson. 14th, John Picha, who is catching up to the damaged car of Hutchinson.
Is it true that Gerardo just throws extra gummy bears in the gas tank because he works for Haribo?
I mean, it would be a source of fuel, I suppose, in a way. Ariel Zatoni getting past Simeon Naku. And that Porsche cannot be fun to race right now with a completely missing front end.
Yeah, got a feel for the Simeon.
He's got the bonnet gone even. Like it is ugly.
I like it. Tear more chunks off. Make it punk rock.
It's pretty punk rock already, I think. I mean, on some tracks you could probably handle it, but this is a lot of flowing corners and stuff where that front end arrow is incredibly important. Gerardo Del Vea trying to catch up with Josiah Jerome. These two have been kind of elastic banding off of each other, where Jerome will get close but then start to lose ground. I wonder if perhaps the dirty air coming off the Audi is upsetting the rough. Looks like Wayne Hutchinson is pulled out of the race. You can see him in the pit lane there with Grant Patola.
No.
So we are down to 13 cars. Mike McGracken trying to fight his way past Simeon Naku. This is a key Silver Cup battle because we were talking about how Naku's got the championship pretty much rolled up. Well, second place still very much up for grabs between McGracken and Joe Racer. So if McGracken can get past Naku here, he will limit the damage that Joe Racer's solid pace will do to him championship.
I think that Joe Racer's going to pull a breakie and wipe everybody else out and then finish.
It's a possible strategy, I suppose. McGracken gets through around the outside of the keyhole. You don't see the outside of the keyhole done very often. And,
not to toot your own horn, but go ahead.
Well, I was going to toot my own horn and then completely rain on my parade by saying that pretty much is because of Naku's car damage, more so than anything else.
You don't really have to say it like that. We can edit that out in post, right?
I mean, we can, but I believe in bringing you equal opportunity coverage where I toot my horn and then also crap on myself.
If there's a weird jump cut, it's because Martin's just gone ahead and done some stuff. And we're not going to tell you what it is.
We're not going to edit out the swearing of Byron. We keep
well, that's half the reason to tune in.
There would be no reason to do commentary if we were to do
Want to hear the 7 dirty words you can't see on TV?
Oh, God.
We'll pass.
Oh, fine, whatever. Go look up some George Carlin. I can do them faster than he can.
Gerardo Del Valle is still trying to hunt down Josiah Jerome. In the background, you can see Justin Swan's green Alpina. We'll let people draw on the what that could possibly mean.
I think green Alpina might be a good idea. Good. Is that like an STD? Oh, I came down with the green Alpina. Gotta get some salve.
Joe Racer closing in on Richard Higgs, the famous Richard Higgs of crap racing. And,
yeah, buddy.
Ariel Zatoni, Mike McGracken rounding off the top 10. There is Mike Stoppmill. We've not seen him in a while. He's closing the gap. It's down to a second and a half to Caleb Gonzalez. We were, of course, looking forward to this battle because, of course, Mike usually unstoppable as hell, and Caleb usually unstoppable as hell. So, you know, two unstoppable objects meeting each other here to see who will come out on top.
Can't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. Having a ball.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Caleb's specialty is the GT3 cars, so it'll be a tough one for Mike.
Good to have Caleb back on the grid. Makes the front a little bit more interesting. Looks like Justin Swan is actually losing ground to both Richard Higgs and Joe Racer, so this might come in to be a battle for 6th place, but with 4 minutes left, I don't know if they have enough time to make it happen. Ariel Zatoni in the background, and then we might catch a glimpse of Mike McGracken further back. Nope.
Wonder if Herbuo is gonna manage to get past Jerome. That's the one I'm watching right now.
That is the battle that I think is the most interesting. They're not the closest together cars. Actually, first and second are the closest together cars, but it does feel like the one where Josiah hasn't really had the pace of a 4th place car, and that leaves definitely the door open to the rough, which is very, very strong here. Joe Racer also putting the pressure on Richard Higgs, and that's getting closer and closer, so I like Joe's chances.
I have an idea for another April Fool's prank for the developers. You should do all tracks as rumble strips for 24 hours.
Oh, God.
Martin will love you. His tires will be totally the same as always.
Yeah, no change.
Actually, Martin wasn't there for the tire apocalypse we had on Assetto Corsa the other night.
I heard about that.
Yeah, explain that.
So I got on Assetto Corsa with my buddy Matt, and we had Rochelle there, and we had some random dude named Rasmus, which is a really awesome name. So Rasmus, if you're listening to this, come join ESR. Because I would never get bored of that name. And
Rasmussen.
And there were 2 other randos who just kind of had names that I don't feel like the need to mention them. But anyways, we were running around at on just a random circuit at Zolder, and I don't know what it was, but the track conditions, we were just popping our tires right and left. Like I destroyed both my rear tires, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm limping around to the pits.
You didn't channel your inner vanguard and just get all vanguard up.
I mean, I probably should have actually, because a couple of laps later, Rochelle ended up on her roof with 2 burnt out tires. So, I mean, if I had just waited.
I mean, that is the most efficient way to cool your tires. I will, guaranteed. Well done, Rochelle.
Your turtle move.
The turtle.
Yep, high-speed turtle move.
Anyways, the only person who didn't lose their tires was Matt, and he won by 4 laps over the field.
It'd be interesting to see what Jurgen Walby would be capable of.
Gerardo Del Valle putting the pressure on Josiah Jerome. Speaking of Jurgen Walby, welcome to the coaching staff of the ESR Academy, Jurgen. I believe he'll be an invaluable asset to the team. Gerardo looking around the outside of Keyhole. I don't think that this is really on.
Oh, he's waiting. Getting the best angle. There we go.
Now, his big chance here is going to be coming into China Beach, which is this right-hand turn coming up. It's a third, not the one they're going around now. I don't consider that to be a turn.
Brown's kind of probably defend in the inside there.
But this is this heavy braking zone here. The rough is very, very good on the brakes. Can he make it go? Nope, he couldn't get up the inside this time.
Ooh, Jerome almost lost it there. I don't think she saw.
There's also the battle between Higgs and Racer still going on. The battle for the lead is kind of been terminated. Caleb's brought the gap back up to 2.5 seconds, but 2 to 2.5 anyways. Looks like he'll be taking home the victory here in race 1 at Mid-Ohio. It'll be interesting to see those two try to come from the back in race 2, of course. Eduardo Del Vea still putting the pressure on.
Oh, that was really close. That was
Into the carousel. Awesome. He's got one more lap to get the job done.
I'm pretty sure he's going to get it at the end of that long straight there.
Yeah, the interesting thing is they're actually catching up with Paul Riccobeni. I think it'd be worth asking Mr. Paul if he's just kind of pacing himself or if he perhaps had run into tire issues.
All right, here we go. He's going to try it here.
He thought about it. Thought about it, but he did not go for it. Josiah's getting very wide in that keyhole, though. If he could just stay close, I think he might have a chance. But he's not going to have a chance going here into China Beach unless Josiah badly messes up his braking point. Which we did see him do in the warm-up. This is where he went off the track.
So, Byron, no keyhole joke?
Well, I could make like a Peeping Tom reference, but that seems not appropriate in this day and age.
I mean, we are approaching Byron's favorite turn on this track.
Mistake.
And they are indeed very close, heading into Thunder Valley.
One man entered, 2 men leave. Right, no, wait, that's not how that works.
John Picha getting out of the way there. As these two continue to battle on for 4th place. Your winner, I think, is officially Caleb Gonzalez, ahead of Mike Stockmill and Paul Riccobeni. This battle for 4th, though, is still going on into the carousel. This is the last chance. I think Josiah's got this.
Yeah, he can just block the inside, and it's over.
Josiah Jerome with a victory flash of the headlights takes 4th place. Not a victory per se, but a solid result. Head of Gerardo Del Vea. Justin Swan's going to come across the grid with his best finish ever, 6th place. Head of Richard Higgs and Joe Racer. Further back, we have Rick Martel putting the pressure on the damaged car of Simeon Naku. Can he get the job done? Further up the line, it looks like... Actually, Ariel Zatoni and Mike McGracken got pretty close towards the end, but not close enough for McGracken to have a run. They will finish in 9th and 10th place. This battle for 11th. Into the carousel we go. Simeon should be able to take this, but with that damaged front end, who knows? Simeon with the 11th place ahead of Rick Martel, and rounding out the field is the Red Devil car of John Picha.
Is it true that your boy Martel had to give up 3 fingers to switch cars? Is that the penalty for...
25 points.
That's only like a finger and a half.
He was damn certain that he would have more pace, though, in this particular car. So at the front of the pack, it's a Mercedes line. It is Grant Patolo on pole from fellow Mercedes driver Wayne Hutchinson, from the McLaren of John Picha, and then the additional McLaren or Mercedes of Rick Martel. They are off. Everyone is looking for a way around. Here we go into the first corner. Any incidents? Any incidents?
Whoa!
Rick Martel goes around in the Ram racing car. Off in the background is Josiah Jerome. I'm not sure what happened there.
Damn.
I believe they were both smoking cracker on.
Grant Patolo off into the lead ahead of Wayne Hutchinson and Simeon Naku. Simeon with a great chance to make some ground back up after a disappointing race 1. He started very much ahead of the car of championship leader Paul Riccobeni, and it is, you know who's come up with a great start once again? We were talking about Richard Higgs having a great start in race 1. He's had another one. He's up into 5th.
Solid.
Listen, if you want to make some easy money, I hear Mr. Higgs is handing out $50 bills. Just let him buy.
Although the start of the race, look at who is in 7th place there, gentlemen. Mike Stockmill. He started P14 on the grid, up to 7th.
Not too bad.
We're not even 1 lap done.
Caleb Gonzalez has done the same. Started P15, up to 8th.
I like Grant Patolo's chances here. He's a very good driver with those cars.
It's all part of the plan. It was really not a delivery guy. He just wanted reverse grid pull. He didn't really have particularly great pace here, though. He qualified in 14th, so I don't know. We'll have to see.
True.
He is leading Wayne Hutchinson, his fellow Mercedes, and Simeon Naku. Then it's Ariel Zatoni, Richard Higgs, Mike McGracken, Caleb Gonzalez, Mike Stockmill, then Mike McGracken, Caleb Gonzalez, Joe Racer, Justin Swan, Paul Riccobeni, Rick Martel, John Picha with a really bad start, down from 3rd to 13th. Gerardo Del Vea and Josiah Jerome, who we saw off in the background in the first corner. Caleb Gonzalez.
You got like half of that wrong. Are you drunk?
I did not. Caleb Gonzalez getting past Mike McCracken, and it looks like Joe Racer followed him through, so McCracken having a bit of a rough time, down to 9th place.
Is it still awesome referring to yourself in the third person like that?
It never gets old.
Fair enough.
Mike Magas and Mike McCracken are not the same person.
You should just change your
accept
in-game name to, like, the Mike.
the Mike.
So you could just constantly third person yourself unintentionally. It's the next level of third personing.
Grant Patolo unable to pull away from Wayne Hutchinson and Simeon Naku and Ariel Zatoni in the background. There are 4 Mercedes in the top 5, 5 Mercedes in the top 6, 6 in the top 7. What the hell is this? I gotta see the BOP on that. The only non-Mercedes in the top 7 is Simeon Naku, who is going hard for it around the outside.
Passing on the shoulder of the highway is not permitted.
It's permitted, but it's not advisable.
You'll slow down way too much.
In the meantime, Richard Higgs and Caleb Gonzalez going at it for 6th place back there.
Your boy Stoffmill is up into 5th place.
He is up into 5th place. Caleb's up into 6th.
Yeah, but he's leading Caleb by like 3 seconds.
Yeah, Caleb generally not as good in traffic as Mike Stoffmill. If I were to say what makes Mike Stoffmill a better driver than Caleb, I think his ability to deal with traffic, his ability to overtake is superior, but Caleb is the faster hot lapper.
And because he's the sheer amount of weed he smokes.
I mean, Caleb's from Guatemala. I think he's pretty good on that. Or not Guatemala.
I thought he was Peruvian.
So, yeah, Peruvian, pardon me.
Oh.
It's Alan Angel that's the Guatemalan. Simeon Naku trying to find a way around Wayne Hutchinson. He knows he really has to because he doesn't want to get swallowed up by the faster cars coming up from behind him. He would really like to get clear here, and it is buying a little bit of time for Grant Patola up in the front in that red Mercedes, a very sexy car. He has got a little bit of a lead going on. Ariel Zatoni is now parked up on the back of this podium battle, and Mike Stoffmill's coming from behind.
Already there.
In the end, it doesn't even matter where he starts. He's going to get to the front.
To go back to Caleb and Mike right there in traffic, I think Caleb is in the perfect position right there. Mike will open up traffic for him.
That's true. You can definitely follow through. I know that Joe Racer followed Caleb through when he overtook me. So
there you go. Simeon's got it.
Those options. I don't know. The superior grunt out of that corner might still get this for Wayne.
Yep, you're right.
Indeed, Wayne keeps the lead, but the Porsche has better brakes heading into China Beach, so the chance for Simeon to get past is still here. I just don't think the keyhole is really the area where Simeon's going to have the Porsche is going to have the right mix of ingredients to pull off an overtake on a Merc.
Simeon's gonna push hard, I think.
He needs to do something, because you can see Stoffbill is now up on the back of this, and Caleb is not going to be far from coming.
Yeah.
Wayne Hutchinson is the cork in the bottle.
You're going to start singing Genie in the Bottle right now?
Oh, God.
And then fit in keyhole somewhere in there?
Paul Riccobeni in 9th place, so it is 3rd for Naku, 9th for Riccobeni. That's the championship battle right now. So right now it is looking good for Naku, but Naku under a lot of pressure. Riccobeni is right up behind Mike McCracken. So a battle for top Audi supremacy there. Battle continues at the front. After that, it is Justin Swan, Rick Martel, Gerardo Dabell, Josiah Jerome. Joe Racer has slipped back to 14th. Not sure what happened to him. And John Picha at the back. So the 2 McLarens bringing up the rear.
But can you say all of that backwards?
Wouldn't that be just technically going from 15th to 1st place?
No, I mean syllabically backwards from
No, I'm not doing
bottom
that.
to top.
Not doing it.
Well, that just sounds like quitter talk.
Ariel Zatoni is looking like he's going to lose a spot. Simeon Naku is through. I thought it would come at China Beach. I was correct. Mike Stoffmill is also up a spot. He's taken over from Ariel Zatoni in 4th place. His next target is Wayne Hutchinson, one of the Academy drivers that Mike Stoffmill is mentoring.
Whoa.
And Caleb Gonzalez is right in this now, right behind Ariel Zatoni. Battle of Argentina and Peru. That could get ugly.
I was gonna say that's not gonna end well.
The Peruvian necktie.
Ah, yes, Tony D'Souza. Mike Stopmill looking to get around. Simeon Naku is looking to scamper off after Grant Patolo as fast as he can because he knows he doesn't want to have to deal with the Flying Dutchman coming through this grid. Could it be into turn one? Mike's looking down the inside. He's got it.
Yep.
Wayne Hutchison goes a little bit wide, trying to outbreak him, and Caleb is still not through on Zatoni, but I think that might just be a matter of time. Richard Higgs in the background there. And in fact, Ariel Zatoni, he says, I may have to lose a spot to Caleb, but I'm going through on Wayne Hutchison first.
Can opener.
Hutchinson has been relegated from third at the start of this lap down to 6th position. I'm being messaged by one Sean LeBlanc on
what a
Steam.
hooker.
That is the sound you heard in the background there. Caleb takes Ariel for 4th place, so he's up a spot. There's a cork further back, which is Mike McGracken holding up Justin Swan, Gerardo Dave, and Josiah Jerome in a battle for 9th place.
You should hook up your boy Darky Parking Structure and Mr. Sean LeBlanc, and then they can go play Dota 2 together all the time, and you'll have a lot less competition.
I've tried.
On the
I've
track.
tried. I've tried to make that happen. It's just not happening. Hutchison, does he have anything left in him? Has losing that many positions over the course of like a lap and a half ruined the confidence of the Canadian? We're gonna find out.
Well, I think he has. He could be fighting with Zatoni. They probably have similar pace.
I don't know. Wayne did not look particularly sharp in qualifying, so it'll be interesting. Mike Stopville gets into the back of Simeon Naku.
Damn.
He spins out Simeon, and Simeon's going to drop back. That's terrible news for the Porsche driver because he's going to be around Paul Riccobeni now, and we know he needed to get some cars between him and Riccobeni for the championship standings. And to reset things, Patolo now being hunted by Stopmill. By the way, with the spinning out of Simeon Naku, now, Martin, when he recorded this, doesn't... well, hang on, we're going to cover this. Gerardo Delvale, Justin Swan, Josiah Jerome, all on the back of Mike McGracken through the S's here. Justin losing it. He'll be knocked off that train, but Gerardo and Josiah are still there. But anyways, you won't notice this to the untrained eye because Martin doesn't have the car manufacturers on his standings. The top 6 are all Mercedeses.
That's a lot of them.
In fairness, there's a Mercedes in 15th as well, so it's not a magic bullet, but I think we can definitely safely say that the Mercedes, it's got some strength here.
I think it has some strength pretty much everywhere. It's a strong
Very
car.
solid car. No wonder Mike Stopmill changed to it from the BMW, which he was struggling in. So, quick rundown of the standings. Patolo from Stopmill, Gonzalez, Zatoni, Hutchison, Higgs, a.k.a. the Mercedes train. Paul Riccobeni, Simeon Naku, Gerardo Delvale, looks like he's gotten around Mike McGracken, who is still fighting with Josiah Jerome, who's in 11th. Joe Racer, Justin Swan, John Picha, and Rick Martell rounding off the field right now.
A likely story.
Just because we were talking about the Academy earlier on. Academy drivers. Wayne Hutchinson in 5th place. He is Academy. He's a man in the Academy. So is Mike McGracken down in 10th. Josiah Jerome in 11th. Joe Racer, 12th place. John Picha, 14th. Rick Martell, 15th. Those are your Academy entries. And the coaching staff doing very well with Grant Patolo leading for Mike Stopmill. And Paul Riccobeni in 7th. Simeon Naku in 8th. I think those are the only coaches in the field.
I think that your boy Grant Patchouli is going to get reeled in a little bit here by Mr. Cornwheel.
Yeah, I mean, it's already happening. The gap is down to less than a second.
Yep, it's going down fast.
Grant Patolo still looking like he can bring home a really solid result. Like a podium wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think he's going to hold off Stopmill and Gonzalez. Well, if Gonzalez does a little bit more of that, maybe. Losing control of the front end there for a bit. The gap is down to 7/10 of a second. Now, Stopmill doesn't have the grunt advantage that he would have on most cars, because of course he's racing against another Mercedes here. But we have seen him have very solid and, dare I say, very patient overtaking skills that are hard to ignore. That being said, he did just ram Simeon Naku out of the way. So, not everything is artistic.
Well, he ran into Simeon probably because Simeon's brake are so efficient, and his are not.
True, but you got to be able to adjust with the car ahead of you, and you got to know that the Porsche's got real solid brakes, and the Mercedes, not necessarily bad brakes, but due to its general grunt advantage over most cars, does have a longer stopping distance.
Correct.
I actually rather think the brakes on the Mercedes are actually pretty good. It's just the speed which it carries into these corners. It's not like, say, the Bentley, which is a little... Somebody give that thing some brakes. God.
Not many people drive the Bentley anywhere.
No, looks like Grant Patolo may have given way there. He's not interested in fighting with Stopmill, which is probably a good call. I mean, it's a bit of a pointless battle, and it's going to just cost him time back to guys he can actually race with, like Ariel Zatoni and Wayne Hutchinson.
That may be true, but we are looking into having him deported to probably Suriname.
Should be mentioned, Wayne Hutchinson's keeping with Ariel Zatoni, so I think you were bang on earlier when you said that he would keep up there, Martin. He's kept the gap to less than a second. It's about 6/10, give or take.
If you look at race 1, Zatoni was struggling a little bit, so...
Yeah, but Hutchinson wasn't terribly great before his DNF, so...
True.
I would say both of them had a race 1 to forget, and this is a much better performance.
I wouldn't want to be in Grant's position there.
It looks like he just gave the spot up to Cal.
That's right.
Same deal.
No. He's just, listen, he's from Australia. They're a little bit on the low cunning side. He's just lining them up for the double pit maneuver.
The pinball maneuver?
With Vegemite.
Yeah, he's just, what he did is, on the way past, he just dumped jars of Vegemite on their cars, and it'll slowly melt and fuck them up.
Paul Riccobeni is up on the back of Richard Higgs, looking to break up the Mercedes. Hey, I was psychic there. Got right to the battle I was talking about. He's looking to break up this Mercedes party at the front of the pack. And if anyone can do it, it is Paul Riccobeni, a driver with few peers in this grid. There's a reason he is the championship leader.
The macho me.
I thought it was because he showed up for every race.
Simeon's also showed up for every race.
Ah, yeah.
There's a couple of drivers who definitely had it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you here, Paul. A big part of it is that Mike Stopmill didn't show up till like mid-season, but you know, still hard-fought run here for championship in his rookie season. Good to see that. Our first season with 0 under the ESR banner. And one in which, you know what, a lot of the old guard of ESR or of 0 hasn't really brought their A game. And I'm intrigued to see what happens next season.
Steroids, nothing but steroids.
Speaking of the old guard, where's Martin Lower?
I don't know. He's actually popping up on my Steam as playing dirt right now. Yeah, no Martin Lauer here today to help out the Porsche contingent, which is shrinking with the Rick Martel's departure from it. Caleb Gonzalez has actually reeled in Stopmill pretty nicely. He's got this down to 0.7 of a second. So he's putting the pressure on. No changes further back. There are some good battles going on, though. Riccobeni's all up on the back of Higgs. Jerome and Delvea, Naku, not terribly far apart. McRacken's keeping with Jerome, putting the pressure on him. Joe Racer and Justin Swan, I think, are destined for a little bit of a collision there.
I thought we just went over this. It's the McRacken.
The McRacken. Yes, yes.
Release the McRacken.
Release the McRacken. Well, the McRacken will finally get released with Team Samsung making his debut on the F4s. Although Team Samsung will be without team leader Mike Davies, which is a bit of a problem.
Did he retire from life?
Nah, he's unfortunately has a schedule conflict.
Well, maybe he needs to get his shit together. And
It's kind of ironic, of course. Mike Davies was the only Team Samsung member to finish race 1. Might be the only one not there for race 2.
Yikes.
Caleb Gonzalez really putting the pressure on Mike Stockmill. I didn't think he would close the gap this fast, but Jesus. He is all over the back of the Lincoln Park car.
Come on, he's got the GT3 down. That man. Got it.
Do they have a Lincoln parking space?
I feel like Mike Stockmill needs a catalyst to get this gap a little bit larger. They head through China Beach. Good overtaking spot, but nothing doing for Gonzalez at this time. Grant Patolo staying with them. I don't think a threat for the win, but it looks like maybe a shoe-in for an all-Mercedes podium. At this rate, an all-Mercedes top 5. Top 6 even possible, but I have faith that Paul Riccobetti probably can get past Higgs. And in fact, we cut to that as they head towards Thunder Valley. The Mercedes did not have great traction into Thunder Valley, and Riccobetti gets the job done up in his 6th place for the championship leader.
Wow.
One would think that Mike Stockmill needs to push away from Caleb Gonzalez here in the near future and try and open up this gap that is down to less than 0.3 of a second.
As long as it's not 0.10 of a second, I think he's okay.
Well, at that point, we were full second.
Maybe even 0.14 of a second.
Oh.
Even worse.
Even worse, yes. Be better for Stockmill, but worse for Gonzalez. Caleb Gonzalez still trying to get the pressure on here. I mean, the pressure is on. Here we go, China Beach. This has been the overtake section of choice, I think, for most of the drivers. Nothing going this time. Further back, looks like Mike McCracken's headed off. He's dropped off the battle for 10th, and now probably has to worry more about Joe Racer, which is a key battle, of course, for 2nd in the Silver Cup between those two. Caleb Gonzalez looking to pull the double here, looking to get his first double of the season, and the only guy who's pulled a double all season is the guy in front of him, Mike Stockmill.
Is it true that you serve the finest of ramen in the Silver Cup?
Only the finest.
Excellent.
Silver Cup is for distinguished gentlemen racers. Wayne Hutchinson's reeling in Ariel Zatoni again. He's got that down to about 4 to 0.5 of a second. We'll see if he can make something happen towards the end here. Mind you, we're on the final lap, so if anyone's going to make a move, it's pretty much now or never. Let's see if Caleb can get the job done. They're heading into China Beach again. Will he pull to the inside? Will he ride there? He thought about it, but in the end has elected to tuck back in behind the other Mercedes of Mike Stockmill. It's an all-Mercedes top 5 still, and I don't think Paul Riccobetti, who's in 6th place, can interrupt the Mercedes trend. Speaking of Mercedes, Richard Higgs defending against Simeon Naku. Simeon really needs this position. He really needs to stay on the back of Paul Riccobetti to keep any hope of the championship being really alive. Like, it's going to be mathematically alive either way, but definitely needs some John Picha out of the race there in the Red Dragon McLaren. I'm going to suggest about 4 laps ago was the. That's
an interesting choice for the director.
Whoa! Caleb Gonzalez lost control towards the end, and that's going to give the win to Mike Stockmill. Grant Patolo. Oh, Simeon!
Rough.
Simeon getting rough. You're in a Porsche, not a rough. Trying to get around Richard Higgs. He can't do it. Higgs holds on to it for another 7th place finish. Gerardo Del Valle comes across the line at 9th ahead of Josiah Jerome. Further up, Paul Riccobetti did get Wayne Hutchinson for 5th place. Congratulations to Paul. I didn't think he had it in him. McCracken in 11th ahead of Joe Racer, and then the Alpina of Justin Swan bringing home 13th position. A little bit of battle wounds there for Justin Swan. And Rick Martel. Not the greatest of debuts for Rick in that Mercedes, I would have to say. Bit of a lackluster run for the Ram Racing team. By the way, Sector 3, if we could get the updated Ram car in this game, ooh, so good, so good. It's on my short list of things that I'm going to race when we do Assetto Corsa, when the Mercedes gets added.
Very nice.
Very nice black and white car. Not very colorful, but it looks spectacular. Anyways,
does it have red and blue lights on top?
There are your final results. Mike Stockmill winning from Caleb Gonzalez, Grant Patolo, Ariels, and Tony Paul, Rick Benny, Wayne Hutchinson, Richard Higgs, Simeon Naku, Gerardo Delvea, Josiah Jerome, Mike McGracken, Joe Racer, Justin Swan, Rick Martel, John Peach out of the race. Your winner in the Silver Cup was Wayne Hutchinson in P6. I will give you a quick rundown of the standing to cap it off here. Should have had the standings ready, but I didn't because, you know, that's how I roll, I guess.
Lame. Next
Your standings heading into the final Enduro round of the season, Road America. Paul Riccobeni leads with 310 points to the 261 of Simeon Naku. That is a 49-point gap, which means if Paul Riccobeni beats Simeon Naku and scores points, which I don't think there's a worry about that not happening, he will be crowned your champion of Zero for this season. Other people who are still alive in the championship hunt, Gerardo Delvea in third place on 244 points, Mike Stockmill on 210, also mathematically alive. But if Paul Riccobeni scores a single point, Stockmill's hopes that the title will come to a close. Ariel Zatoni, Joe Racer, Mike McRacken, Ben Schwari, Darcy Parkinson, Calvin Gonzalez, Wesley Stokes, Martin Lauer, Richard Higgs, Eric Friesen, and Mike Schneider are your top 15.
I heard Ben Schwartz got deported to Alabama.
Pending penalties, of course, from this round, as I know Mike McGracken is facing potential disciplinary action.
Ooh.
What a hooker.
I mean, if I was a hooker, I wouldn't be facing disciplinary action.
Might get more action.
I mean, but it wouldn't be disciplinary in nature.
Depends on what they're into.
All right, I think before we go too far down this rabbit hole, we'll call it a day. And join us next time at Road America for Zero Action, although the next commentary will be the ESR team event Formula 4 from Shanghai.
I thought it was supposed to be Road Lithuania.
You know what? If there was a Road Lithuania track, I would vote for it.